traffic, got Bonanza 934 Tango departing runway 22 will be a straight out departure, Santa Paula. Santa Monica is going to be the starting point for our transit through the LA Special Flight Rules area. Really interesting setup they have.
LA Special Flight Rules, low wing, gray Cirrus, southbound 3,500.
LA Special Flight Rules traffic, Bonanza 934 Tango, we're overhead LAX, LA Zebra traffic. We're about 17 miles out from Catalina. A couple of things to keep in mind about Catalina. They're very steep drop-offs, obviously, on either side of the runway. There's a little Catalina local knowledge for you. Even though I'm not a local, I do know a thing or two about landing here because I've done it before. Traffic, Bonanza 34 Tango base to final full stop 22 Catalina. Flaps in there, and down we come. Well, everybody, welcome aboard Bonanza 934 Tango. We find ourselves today at, where else but Santa Paula. And we've got a very special treat today. I'm going to fly to Catalina, the airport in the sky. Been there before, but this will be the first time traversing the LA Special Flight Rules area. So this should be a real treat. I'll tell you a bit more about when we get airborne, how we're going to transit the airspace, the Bravo, directly over LAX. But for now, sit back and relax and enjoy the departure. And Santa Paula traffic, got Bonanza 934 Tango departing runway 22 will be a straight out departure, Santa Paula. All right, ready as we'll ever be. Well, look at this. We're departing the beautiful Santa Paula area here in the Santa Clara Valley region of Southern California. It's so close to the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles, and yet it feels like it's a world away. And I enjoy it. I've never been here before. First time here. Spectacular airport. Let me tell you, where the fuel right now is $4.54 a gallon. And the people are just salt of the earth. Ran into a couple of guys. One of the gentlemen owned a Debonair just like this plane in 1960, 3533 Bonanza for quite some time. He was an American Airlines pilot. And we spent some time
having about 1 minute, 14,000 a kilo.
Talking about the airplane and his ownership experience and mine ownership experience. And the most beautiful thing about aviation to me are the people. And it doesn't matter where you go in this country or in this world, they're all salt of the earth, willing to help and talk about airplanes. And so it was just the joy of my morning to meet those two gentlemen. We're heading to Santa Monica. So we're going to turn left here and head direct to the Santa Monica BOR. Santa Monica is going to be the starting point for our transit through the LA Special Flight Rules area. Really interesting setup they have. So essentially what you're doing is you're transiting the airspace on the Santa Monica 132 radial and all the way through the Class Bravo at 3,500 feet when you're headed southeastbound. And that takes you right over the top of Los Angeles International Airport. Isn't that crazy? I think that's kind of crazy. But it works, so that's what we'll be doing here. It is just a magnificent day to fly here in SoCal. It is like a complete polar opposite from what the weather was yesterday. when the LA basin was just filled with haze on our arrival. So I'm really pleased that the weather is as great as it is today. Beautiful day here in SoCal as we head to Catalina. And when we exit the Special Flight Rules Area corridor, at that time, we will then proceed direct to Avalon.
LA Special Flight Rules, low wing, gray Cirrus, southbound 3,500 over the LAX South compound. LA Special Flight Rules.
LA Special Rules traffic, blue and white Bonanza is just west of the...
All right, so a couple of rules to observe in preparation for transiting the CFRA here. You want to have the CFRA CTAP frequency of 128.55 up. When we enter the corridor, we'll be squawking 1201. And then we'll be making call-outs at the various VFR checkpoints along the way. And those are going to be Bologna Creek, well, SMO, Bologna Creek, LAX, and then we'll make a call at Imperial Highway. And we're level right now at 4,200. We are below the shelf of the northern tier of the Class Bravo airspace, so that's great. The other thing you got to do is you got to have an indicated airspeed at or below 140 knots. So if you're a turbojet aircraft, you can't really do this. This is a privilege that really is reserved for piston-powered aircraft, which is great. I love it. That's great. By the way, this entire flight from Santa Paula takes about a half hour, a little over a half hour. And so that's pretty impressive if you think about it. If you were to drive from Santa Paula all the way south to, say, Long Beach, where you would hop the ferry to Catalina, that would take you quite some time. I'd be willing to bet probably a couple of hours at least. And so we're just flying over all of these roads. We don't need roads where we're going. We're going to be on Catalina Island about 20 minutes from now. We're about 6 minutes out from the Santa Monica VOR, at which point we'll pick up the 132 radial. I've got that loaded here in my Garmin, and we'll track that directly across LAX. This will be a fun experience. As a matter of fact, I can see LAX off our nose now. It's about our 1 o'clock. Wow. Incredible. Look at that view, folks. My goodness. If I lived in SoCal, I'd be doing this flight all the time, believe you me. Amazing. Simply amazing. LA Special Flight Rules Area traffic got a Bonanza 934 Tango. We're overhead the Santa Monica VOR turning onto the 132 radio. LA Surface traffic.
LA Special Flight Rules, low wing, gray Cirrus, southbound 3,500 over SMO. LA Special Flight Rules.
Santa Special Flight Rules, Cirrus 422 Sierra November Silver Cirrus over Santa Monica VOR. 3,500 feet, we'll be turning southeastbound shortly for Los Angeles Special Flight Rules.
LA Special Flight Rules traffic, Bonanza 934 Tango. We're overhead LAX. LA Surface traffic.
LA Special Flight Rules, Cirrus, low wing Cirrus, southbound 3,500, Abima, Alondro Park, last call.
22 Sierra November midfield LAX 3,500 feet south.
LA Special Flight Rules traffic, Bonanza 934 Tango will be Imperial Highway Special Flight Rules traffic.
Special Flight Rules 432 Sierra November, exit to Special Flight Rules to the southeast over Zero Refinery, starting our descent for Torrance Airport.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. We've just transited the LA Special Flight Rules area. That was easier than I thought it would be. And we're level 3,500. When we get clear of this section to the south here where the Bravo begins at 5,000 feet. We'll climb a little bit, get a little high for the crossing of the channel here, as it were. But what a breeze that was. And of course, we have Catalina now to look forward to, so stay tuned. Okay, folks, well, we are now clear of all that stuff, and we're climbing to, I'm going to climb it up to about 5,500 here. The crossing of the channel has begun. Why don't we take a picture of the harbor behind us? That's a beautiful shot. I'll show you what it looks like. And we're 20 miles out from Catalina. So this has been a really easy trip to make. And again, if I lived in SoCal, not only would I base my plane at Santa Paula, salt of the earth people, but I would also be making this Catalina trip on a regular basis. I would be a member of the club. And you do have to pay a landing fee here. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm going to find out very shortly, obviously. But I do know that there is like a club type arrangement you can join where you pay an annual fee. And you have landing privileges all year round. So again, if I lived here, I would have that for sure. So thanks for riding along, folks, on this very special trip for the LA CIFRA. It really is amazing how easy it is to do that. And there wasn't a whole lot of traffic in the corridor either. That might note the fact that, you know, it's Tuesday. But a beautiful Tuesday for flying here in SoCal. And so we're about 17 miles out from Catalina, and we'll see what the winds are doing when we get there. It's always kind of a roll of the dice. It looks like, actually, according to my ADSB here, the winds are 300 at 8. And so that would probably favor runway 22 at Catalina. You may or may not be able to see it, but the airport in the sky is off our right wing. And it is situated at 1,600 feet above sea level. Of course, Avalon is at sea level. So it's kind of interesting when you make the commute from the airport down to Avalon. I mean, you lose, you know, essentially 1,600 feet in altitude, and it's not the easiest ride. It's kind of a rugged ride because the terrain is quite rugged. By the way, if you want to do it, if you want to do that trip, I would advise booking in advance, because they run tours from Avalon up to the airport and back, and sometimes it can be difficult to get a seat on one of those buses. We're not going to do that today. I'm not going to do that today. Because I've done it before, been there, done that, but we will overfly the town here and get a good shot of the plane over the casino. We're coming up on Avalon right now. All right, folks, here's the town of Avalon. Now see if I can give you a good shot. Oh yeah, look at that. There's Avalon, folks. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness, look at that. Beautiful day here on Catalina Island. And alive. Okay, well, that's enough fun. Time now to set up for a landing here in Catalina. Catalina traffic, you got a Bonanza about 6 miles now to the southeast at 4,100. We'll be entering right downwind. Full stop, 22 Catalina. A couple of things to keep in mind about Catalina. There are very steep drop-offs, obviously, on either side of the runway, so, you know, you better bring the plane to a stop on the runway. Now, what deceives a lot of people, and they may have fixed this, the Army Corps, when they repaved the runway a couple of years ago, is a hump, and I think it's still there. There's a hump in the I believe, the middle of the runway or the first third of it. That deceives a lot of people, and they think, oh my goodness, the runway's about to end. Well, that's not the case. It is an optical illusion, so as long as you keep that in mind, you should be just fine. A lot of people will kind of freak out and decide to power up and go around and not have enough runway to go around on. So there's a little Catalina local knowledge for you. Even though I'm not a local, I do know a thing or two about landing here because I've done it before. Catalina traffic out of Bonanza 934 Tango. We're entering right downwind. Full stop 22 Catalina. And when it comes to Catalina, folks, I'm of the opinion that you probably want to come in a little bit high if you're going to do this. Here it comes to here. We're essentially at pattern altitude right now. because there are some downdrafts here on the approach end of runway 22 that you got to be aware of. And you don't want to, you know, they could obviously cause you to lose significant altitude at a time when you can't afford that. So we're going to come in just a little bit high.
Catalina 80 is holding short of 4 for arriving traffic, Catalina.
At Catalina traffic, Bonanza 34 Tango, starting right base 22, Catalina. Catalina traffic, Bonanza 34 Tango, base to final, full stop 22, Catalina. Flaps in there. And down we come. And we make the first turnoff. Look at that, huh? Well, everybody, make a call here. Catalina traffic, Bonanza 34 Tango's now clear 22, Catalina.
Catalina 80 is departing 4 straight out, Catalina.
Welcome to Catalina, everybody. It has been an enjoyable flight. That was a heck of an experience, and I hope everybody here enjoyed it. Maybe took a piece or two of knowledge from it. And we're going to enjoy a little buffalo burger here at the famous Catalina Airport, Catalina Island Airport in the sky. So welcome, and I hope to do this again sometime soon with one of you. If we're ever in the SoCal area at the same time, let me know. We'll do it. See you next time. Happy tailwinds.